a great attitude. He's a hardworking guy. He has good head on his shoulders. And, he's always positive, always optimistic, always keeps a smile on his face. And, you like going to work with people who have that kind of attitude.
You wouldn't believe it if you didn't see it with your own eyes. A fifth-round draft pick, barely mentioned in the preseason media storm. Today, he just jumped to the front of the line. Shedeur Sanders has taken over the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. And the NFL world? Well, it just hit DEFCON 1. For weeks, for months, we watched him quietly take second-team reps. No fanfare, no headlines. But those close to the team, those with the inside scoop, knew something was brewing. And then, today happened. During one of the Browns' most intense move-the-ball periods, something shifted, something major. For the first time, Shedeur Sanders stepped in ahead of Dylan Gabriel.
I've seen Shedeur Sanders take second-team reps before, but today, interestingly, at least during one move-the-ball period, it was really one of the first move-the-ball.
And everybody is saying, well, this is a guy that's not even taking check downs. He's throwing 20 yards down the field on a dig route. So it's not the processing of all of that.
He wasn't just filling in. He was leading the offense. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't a coach mixing up reps. This was a statement, loud and clear. We see what this kid can do. Now let's see if he can do it with the big boys. And let me tell you, the kid delivered.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing for me. The stuff you talk, we've been talking about all the draft and pre-draft, but the superpowers that he has from the neck up, to me, that will help him get on the field faster than anything else will.
Let's talk facts. 71% completion for his career. 74% last year alone. And that's despite being sacked over 90 times in 2 seasons at Colorado. The man had defensive linemen in his face on every other play, and he still made it look surgical. People said he couldn't read the field, that he wasn't ready for NFL speed. But Shedeur? He's seeing things before they happen. When the ball is snapped, he knows exactly where it's going. And here's the kicker. He's not dinking and dunking. He's not throwing checkdowns like a scared rookie. He's launching 20-yard lasers on dig routes, threads between defenders, with timing that makes seasoned vets nod in approval.
More than 71% for his career. He completed 74% of his passes last year, despite being sacked about 42 times. 90-plus times over the 2 years that he was at Colorado. The brother can play.
Or 1 to 2 to 3, he's got to do it more quickly. But he's custom made for that. But the way that he thinks and the way that he can see something on the board, take it to a walkthrough, and then bring it to a practice, that's seen
That's
very
how you
quickly.
win.
That's seen very quickly.
One assistant coach said, "In my 15 years of coaching, I've never seen anything like this." Let that sit for a second. This isn't just raw talent. This is a player walking into the NFL and playing chess while everyone expected checkers. During minicamp, he showed it all. The grit, the poise, the leadership. Every snap was deliberate. Every throw, on target. He wasn't just reacting. He was controlling the game. Coaches started leaning in, teammates took notice, and the whispers became noise. This kid might actually take the job.
It'll be hey, I love Dylan Gabriel. I love Pickett. I love Flacco. It's going to be Shedeur.
Day one.
No, by week 8, Shedeur Sanders will be.
That said, I'm told that he came into mini camps, and I spoke to people this weekend, and was as good a young third-day pick you could imagine in how he handled himself. Now, you're asking him to find a way to not only get on this roster, which he will, but to then be able to get reps in training camp and then win the job. That's asking a lot. However, you're asking a quarterback room that doesn't have that. There is no Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford in there. It is wide open. If you're thinking the best man can win, he might have the most skills.
Sanders himself said it best. You've got to understand the situation you're in. Whether you're getting reps or not, you can take it negatively or use it to push yourself harder. That's not a quote. That's a mentality. That's what separates the guy trying to make the roster from the guy trying to lead it. Veterans, they love him. Cornelius said it plainly. There's a hell of a competition, but especially Shedeur. That's not just praise. That's respect. And respect, that's earned in sweat, in silence, in film sessions, in early mornings and late nights. Shedeur didn't demand the spotlight. He worked until the spotlight couldn't ignore him.
All the guys you got to remember working really hard. I'm expecting to have a hell of a rookie dinner for both of the guys, especially.
Even Browns captain and All-Pro Myles Garrett couldn't hold back. He said, "He always keeps a smile on his face, shows up every day, positive, focused. You want to work with people like that." That's not coach speak. That's from a war-tested vet. When your locker room leader is buying in, the rest of the team follows.
Great attitude, he's a hardworking guy. He has good head on his shoulders, and he's always positive, always optimistic, always keeps a smile on his face, and you like going to work with people who have that kind of attitude.
And now the national media, they're catching on. James Jones called Sanders the best option for the Browns right now. He didn't say one day, he said today. Stephen A. Smith, he pulled the receipts, the statistics, the sack totals, the completions, the unshakable poise. Smith said, "This isn't about potential anymore. This is about production." Twitter, TikTok, NFL Reddit. They're lighting up. Journalists are calling Sanders the biggest bargain of the 2025 NFL Draft. A fifth-round pick who just might be the steal of the season. Cleveland may have found a diamond in the middle of the chaos. This isn't hype anymore. This is real. The Browns coaching staff has officially promoted Shedeur Sanders to first-team reps. Not for a trial, not for a gimmick, for a real chance to win the starting job. And you know what? He's ready. He's more than ready. He's been preparing for this moment since the day he was doubted, since every critic labeled him Deion's kid before they labeled him a quarterback.
And then Shedeur puts some tape out there. It's not game tape, but it's practice tape. And every time you see the tape, it's him throwing a touchdown or a completion. That is what you see. I ain't seen too many incompletions and all that, but whatever you see and whatever you hear is about the young fella getting better.
Gabriel this year. I would only start Joe Flacco or Kenny, and probably Joe, if, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. And if you're Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Barrow, their head coach and general manager, you go, hey, if one of these two kids starts, we're going to get fired. If it's that bad throughout.
This made me think, if Kenny Pickett starts, then that shows me Kevin Stefanski feels like his job may be on the line. If he starts Shedeur, he has a little leeway. We can develop this guy. Because if you start Kenny Pickett, it's as if we have to win now. I was told Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel, one of those two are going to be the starter. I was told this a long time ago by somebody in the building. Flacco and Shedeur are going to be the third quarterback. I'm not sure they thought Shedeur would do this, but we all know this. When you're in practice, how can you give 4 guys reps? You got 12 plays of 7-on-7?
Yep. So now the question isn't, will Shedeur start? The question is, can anyone stop him from taking over this team completely? The path is wide open. The door has cracked. And Sanders? He's about to blow it off the hinges. Cleveland. You may have just found your future. Subscribe to First Down Daily for breaking NFL updates, QB battles, and the rise of legends like Shedeur Sanders. You don't want to miss what's coming next.